Hey y'all, it's Morgan. Welcome to my happy place. I am going to check on my sauerkraut. Now, yesterday or last night, really, I did open it and I pulled the cabbage leaves out that were covering them, mainly because I don't want those to get funky because part of them are above the water, but also just to go ahead and see, you know, where I'm at as far as brine and that sort of thing. Now, I didn't taste it or anything. I literally just pulled them out, put the weights back in, and closed it up and put some more water in here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. And this is one of the reasons we like having the water, is because sometimes those little fruit flies and stuff like to get in there. All right, let's see how it looks. And I'm doing this with my phone, so let me look beyond it. It smells right. Pull one of the weights out. Oh, hang on. Okay, we had to get a plate to put these on. So I'll get that one down and pull this one out. All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, texturally it feels good. It's not slimy. Color-wise, it has a good color. Like I said, it smells good. So I'm gonna take a little taste. And it's actually got that nice sour sauerkraut taste. And if I were to let it go longer, it's gonna get sour, but it's gonna get sour anyway. As it continues to ferment, even in the refrigerator, it'll slow down, but it'll still ferment. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out and put it in some canning jars and stick it in the refrigerator. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now I went ahead and dried the water that's in here because I will eventually try to get whatever liquid is left in there and get it transferred to the jar. I'm actually not using a canning jar. I found an old pickled okra jar. It's a half-gallon size, so I've cleaned it out here and I'm just going to use that. Now, normally you use a non-reactive metal when it comes to your ferments because it can cause, just due to the acidic nature of it, can cause some issues, but I am using some tongs, just, you know, cooking tongs, and just to try to get this out. As you can see, the color is nice. It's vibrant and green. It looks a little off down there, but it's just because of the shadows. But it actually looks really nice. And it's got a really nice crunch to it. If it were at all smushy or slimy, then that would not be something that I would keep. And, you know, a lot of times it just comes down to what you can smell as well. All right, this is really challenging to do through the lens of the camera, so I'm going to put this on pause, get it transferred over, and then I'll be back. All right, so we are all done. As you can see, this is packed in pretty well. Now I did pack that down again. You still want to keep everything as much under the brine as you can. I have a little bit left over that I probably could squeeze down in there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna get a fork and eat it. That's actually my favorite way to eat this. So that's it. This is gonna go in the fridge, and probably in a week or two, I will go ahead and try to make some more. I'm the only one in the house that eats it, so it will last me for a few weeks at least. And yeah, so I hope you try this, and if you do, let me know how it goes. I'm gonna take a look at the carrots in just a second. Let me get a couple of bites first though. Okay, well, just removing the carrots, the gases are kind of escaping. If I can crack this. Well, hang on, close up view. Okay, it's got some pressure built up. Hang on. All right, let's see. Okay, see everything moving and dancing. Now, I did taste one of these, I guess a day or so ago, and they're mostly pickled. I really kind of want to let them go a little bit longer. I have not tried these at all. This is the ones without the garlic in it. So let's see if I can get this opened. I have them sitting in these little dishes because they do tend to ooze a little bit as these gases are escaping. So, all right, let me set you down here for a minute. There it goes. All right, pull my little weight out. Set that on the lid. Now let's see how these look. They smell delicious. Okay, those are not ready. Those have a nice crunch to them, and they're getting that very fermenty flavor, but there's still a little bit of carrot sweetness inside. So I know that they're not done. These actually, for some reason, are fermenting more quickly, and they may well be done now. Let me get the lid back on that. I'm gonna put it back. I find it very interesting that these were done at the same time. It's the same thing, carrots, same width, even had the same brine that I used between both of them because I did not need to make more. And yet these smell more fermented. And they're really fermented pretty much all the way through, but I am getting a hint of sweetness, but not nearly as much as with those. So these I'll leave out for a couple more days. Those may even go another week. We'll see. But anyway, you know, it's fascinating the differences between the different jars. I mean, everything in this should be exactly the same, other than the fact that I added the garlic to that. And I don't know if that's what was doing it, or if maybe the age of the carrots was a little different. I don't know, but interesting stuff. All right, y'all. Hope you have a good day. I'm fixing to go enjoy some fresh sauerkraut. Oh yeah, I decided to come back for something. Wanted to talk to y'all about this a little bit. If you don't have much experience with fermented foods, and what I'm eating here is actually kind of a lot, I may or may not pay the consequences for that. And let me tell you why. Because I would hate for somebody just to get a big batch of this, love it, eat a whole bunch, and then have issues and blame it on that. What happens when you eat a fermented food and it has the naturally occurring probiotics in it? You know, those naturally occurring probiotics help restore the normal flora, or all of the bacteria that are in the gut. Sometimes you can have an overgrowth of a particular bacteria or yeast and not be aware of it. And then when you have a probiotic, it goes in and restores. Well, what happens sometimes as it's repopulating, it can cause die-off of some of the bad or overpopulation of bacteria or yeast. Well, what happens when you have die-off is it releases toxins and you end up in the bathroom with gastrointestinal issues. Okay, not everybody experiences that, but generally if you eat a very large portion of it, that could happen. So if you're at all unsure of how your system is going to react to it, just, a couple of little clumps like this to start with, okay? I wouldn't eat this whole bowl if I were in your shoes. Now, after a day or so of eating, the probiotic rich foods, you generally will get a good idea of how your system reacts to it. And typically you can eat as much as you want to past that point. I personally can probably eat all of this with no problems, because I typically do eat a lot of probiotic rich foods. And if it doesn't, it's a risk I'm willing to take. But that being said, I just don't want somebody to think, oh my goodness, I've poisoned myself, or, it just doesn't agree with me. There's a reason that it happens. And typically that tells you as well that you probably had a real imbalance going on. And this cannot hurt you. If the infectious disease doctor and the oncologist that I have spoken with, as I have done oncology nursing before I was a hospice nurse, they actually recommend it and said, yes, it's better than getting a probiotic capsule at the drugstore, because a lot of that is lost through the processing of those medicines, and that the types of bacteria, beneficial bacteria that you would have in a fermented food far exceeds what you can purchase in the store. And if it is okay for immune system challenged patients, someone who doesn't have issues, it certainly would not harm but there may be some side effects to be aware of. So just wanted y'all to know. All right, have a good one.